This does not even deserve a captain's log introduction, because this is dead serious.
Most of us have done embarrassing things in the name of love in our lifetime, whether it be sending a cringe-inducing text to someone we later regret, faking your interest to get closer to your crush only to be called out for not knowing the facts of said interest, or trying to impress somebody with something only to completely bomb in front of everyone. In this case, Chris is no different. In June 2007, Sony Entertainment America announced the Chop Chop Master Onion's Rap Showdown contest for their upcoming PaRappa video game, where competitors were to film themselves performing Chop Chop Master Onion's rap, Instructor Mussolini's rap, or Cheep Cheep the Chicken's rap in acapella. The winner of the contest will receive 2 PSPs and an all-expenses-paid trip to Seattle for that year's Penny Arcade Expo, also known as PAX. Winning this contest became Chris Chan's #1 priority, not for his love of PaRappa, but for his obsession with the strange love quest victim Megan Schroeder. His plans were to win the contest, give one of the PSPs to Megan, invite her to the Seattle trip, use his years of dating experience, make her fall in love with him, and finally lose his virginity. With a history of contest winning, video creating, and no knowledge of PaRappa, aside from the aforementioned contest, how could he lose? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to take a look at this and one of my favorite stories of Chris Chan, probably because it's the most relatable, or at least one of the most relatable before he went off the deep end, but let's take a look and see what happened. For his song, Chris Chan chose the more known option of Chop Chop Master Onion's rap, despite not knowing the lyrics whatsoever. Now, lacking knowledge of the lyrics in a competition about singing lyrics didn't stop Chris from trying though, instead electing to haphazardly read them while rapping in the video.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find that you all things that I teach you sure to beat ya. Over the rest of that to listen to the teacher now. Kick, kick, punch, punch, chop, chop, block, block. What's more, kick?
This obviously made his entry much more amateur than it already was, but I'm sure in Chris's mind it was going by smoothly. During his performance, he would add some beautiful video effects from the PSI, just to add that visual flair and stand out in the crowd. Things like him burning in the depths of hell while he spins for forgiveness, being trapped in the Phantom Zone prison from Superman, or the famous birthday boy effect, which seems to be a lot of people's favorite part of his performance. Midway through, Chris can be seen losing his position in the song and having to take short muttering pauses while he lumbers back and forth and reads from the screen.
That's it for today. Good job, PaRappa. You can go to the next stage now. Yahoo! Alright, PaRappa.
Near the end, it can be heard that Chris is having trouble breathing after just 3 minutes of mildly moving his body around, and he signs off with a victorious,
Yo, na-na-na-na-na-na. Rap, rap, rap. That's a rap.
After submitting his video and garnering enough attention to make it to the top 10, he left a heartfelt message on the PlayStation blog forum saying, "My PaRappa video." Oh, sorry. My PaRappa video is among the top 10 in Chop Chop Master Onion's contest. It is the lucky 7th video with the blue guitar. A vote for my video will be most appreciated, but I also like to know how those of you who have viewed it and/or voted for it felt about it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support for a better future for this autistic life. He got one comment on his post, which, shout out to him. One may think him entering the top 10 was out of sheer talent, but in reality, only a little more than 10 people entered the contest. Because the winner of the contest would be selected by vote, Chris began contacting people he knew, begging them to vote for him. He handed out flyers to people at the game place, he emailed Susan Hannafin, his PVCC guidance counselor, which he was not on good terms with in the past. Chris put out ads on the Sonic 2 website, CWC's Poke site, MySpace, PSN blogs, his Hot Wheels site, and his Bionicle site. The last two I didn't even know existed. And he even went as far as to ask his half-brother Cole Smithy to vote for him. In return, Cole asked Chris to find out the identity of his biological father by asking Barb. Chris replied saying that Barb stated that a man named Jack Dale Smithy was his father, which Cole knew wasn't the case. This resulted in Cole never finding out who his father was, and even worse, Chris not getting his vote. In the end, Christian would create sock puppet accounts to bolster his score within the competition, writing reviews such as, "Such honesty in his situation and devotion for his lucky girlfriend adds great emotions to his performance. The visually appealing effects added the best humor and biggest laugh I had among the bunch. I enjoyed the fun background of his assumed-to-be bedroom. And his informative feedback on playing Guitar Hero on PlayStation 3 was truly a wise and great addition. Also, he's nailed the lyrics a cappella. Which, no, Chris, you didn't do that.
It's all in the mind. If you want to let test me, I'm sure you'll find that you all things that I teach you sure to beat ya.
As this brave, autistic warrior so creatively put it in the end, rap, 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 that's a rap. Truly the cherry on top of the sundae. A perfect score of 5 out of 5 stars for his marvelous effort, and smiling at knowing he looked a bit stupid. Despite all his efforts, the winner of the competition was a man named Adam Stackhouse, who did an adorable video with his little sister singing the Cheap Cheap Chicken rap song. Adam and his sister's video had props that made sense, was actually able to remember the lyrics and hit the notes correctly, and had a variety of camera angles. It was the obvious better choice. Chris, broken up over this revelation, took to emailing Sony HQ. I really wanted that Jesus Christ. I really wanted that trip so I could have a chance to impress my sweetest Megan and possibly fulfill my dream of getting married and soon have a daughter named Crystal. Yet now I, a frustrated, high-functioning, autistic 25-year-old virgin, have been balls broken. have been, oh my god, I'm sorry. Have been balls broken like I have a big chunk of my life in America's favorite game, Kick the Autistic. I have my fantasies of having fun with Megan, taking her to a really extravagant destination, I am not rich, taking a long-awaited tour of Nintendo of America, playing Guitar Hero against the guy in the PaRappa costume, jamming with Megan in the hotel room and possibly our first time in bed. Life can be so unfair and fucking corrupt, but I digress. Take the acapella rule to the max of those 3 out of 10 videos. Take care, Christian Weston Chandler. I wonder why he was so obsessed with Guitar Hero. Why did he want to play Guitar Hero with Megan so badly? Yeah, sorry, breaking character. And then I always wondered, what would it feel like to be the Sony employee who had to read that shit, you know? Like, seriously. It seems like Chris didn't understand the word acapella, or maybe he didn't realize what beatboxing is, and mistook their voices for actual instruments. Either way, he took to the forums and directed his anger towards Mr. Stackhouse, insinuating Adam only won because he was alphabetically the first video in the contest, and wrongfully received the big prize, calling him a jerk, belittling his efforts, claiming he cheated by using music in his video, which there were no instruments in the video, and all in all he should have been disqualified, completely forgetting that Chris himself broke the rules by changing the lyrics of the song and trying to rig votes in his favor. Funny enough, one of the contestants actually did put on a backtrack in their video and apologized for it, which Sony themselves said it was perfectly fine, and I'm sure they were just glad that one of their customers loved their product enough to join the competition. So in the end, Chris would be technically the only one who would have cheated. After ranting all over the PSN forums, some users tried to calm Chris down, telling him to relax and things would be okay. He replied to them telling them to shut up, causing him to get banned from the site. This would cause Chris to send another angry email to Sony explaining that Adam and the other contestants should have been disqualified, once again ignoring his own cheating, which Sony responded stating that his email was never even read at all, and basically told him,
"Suck my f***ing dick, stupid."
2 days later, Chris would make his own fake webpage designed to show himself as the winner. He substituted his own name for Stackhouse's, and left a disclaimer on the page stating, "I want to mention a small concern. There is a link to the true real winner of the Chop Chop Master Onion contest at myspace.com/CWC in Friends Customs. Yet when I click the link on PlayStation.com, I get a different winner. I do not know who to believe. Do I believe the official rule violating Adam Stackhouse, or do I believe the honest autistic CWC Sonic Chew? The ex-winner Adam Stackhouse was disqualified on the grounds of violating the official rules on 2 counts. 1. He had licensed beatbox music playing from a licensed boombox." Did he really believe that? Oh, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? It's whatever. I guess he didn't understand doubling vocals. I don't know. He had his sister illegally in the video without authorized consent. We of PlayStation Underground apologize for the confusion and inconvenience of not having dealt with this injustice sooner. Please disregard any web pages that may state the contrary. They shall be taken down by our webmaster momentarily. I don't know if he thought people would see his page and start an uprising on the forums telling Sony to give the rewards to Chris, but that's probably what he was thinking. When his efforts proved futile, he later increased the levels of tard rage in his system and decided it would be a good idea to print out a picture of Adam and his sister, hang it up like a dartboard, and shoot it with a toy gun to express his frustrations with losing.
And that is how angry I am at Adam Stackhouse, Apperlusky, Brudel, and Surya Butchwald. They should have been disqualified because they had music and more than one person in their Freakazoid videos.
This, I believe, is probably one of the most psychotic things Chris has ever done, other than his mother.
My name is Barbara Chandler.
But to be fair, in his mind, he probably didn't see the seriousness of the situation. You know, you probably shouldn't go around shooting toy guns at people's faces. Not knowing what to do next, Chris emailed Megan to air out his grievances with Sony and report his failures to his fair maiden. I just learned that I am not the winner of the PaRappa's Chop Chop Master Onion contest. Among their 10 videos, they were organized alphabetically. I checked the HTML source, and that explained why I was number 7. Anyway, that lucky jerk Adam Stackhouse, assumed to be his email name, gets to go to Seattle. That SLB should have really been disqualified. His dance was supposed to be music free. Yet he has some shitty beatbox noises in the background throughout his video. So did 2 others. I am angry, depressed, and lonesome all simultaneously. I worked so damn hard. I sent like over 500 messages between MySpace, PlayStation Network, and AOL. And I even made up 120 dummy email accounts to match their dummy PlayStation accounts so I can stuff the f***ing ballot. I really wanted to take you somewhere fun and exciting so you and I can be together for longer than usual. And I really wanted to give you and John each a PSP. I failed. So much effort, rapping and dancing with goofy effects to even be considered. Spreading the word as far and wide as possible. Wasted. And I did it all for you, Megan. I had you in my heart as I chopped the onion a la mode dance. I gave so much energy. Even had a gut virus for a couple days. Crazy, I guess. Just to add a little context, Chris had been emailing Megan non-stop for some time while she went on vacation. Paragraphs and paragraphs of nonsense, and sometimes just emailing her to say hi and how much he missed her. Mind you, at this point in time, Megan already asked Chris on multiple occasions to stop treating her like his girlfriend and being so flirty with her. So her reaction to coming home and checking her emails to see Chris bombarding her with super creepy messages was pretty terse to say the least. I haven't been checking my email until recently, and I just want to say that your behavior is irritating me for the last time. First, I'll start off with saying that I'm glad you didn't win that contest, because I have no interest in going on a trip alone with someone who can't keep his hands off me. I'm not your girlfriend, and I never will be. When I say don't touch me, that means don't touch me. That is probably the best moment of all christory right there. I fucking love it. What may seem friendly to you is sexual harassment to me. You whine that you're just being friendly, but you obviously have no consideration for my feelings. The way you went off on Nina because she patted me on the head was very rude and uncalled for. Just because someone else made physical contact with me doesn't give you the authority to do so. Remember, I have the right to decide who can come near me. Also, I can't say I like how you use my photo on your video and on the cover of your comic book. I want them removed from the internet, immediately. Since I'm not a MySpace member, I can't view what you post. If there are any photos of me on your blog, I want them removed. And I don't like your Megan obsession. I don't like being a character in your comics. I don't like how you made me a character in Soul Calibur and Animal Crossing. That kind of behavior really freaks me out. With all that said, we're down to only 2 options. We remain friends and only friends, period. As in, no more touching me, following me, asking me personal questions, and giving me things. We can still battle and trade cards and talk. Or, B, never see me again. I'm sorry it's come down to this, but I've told you repeatedly in a nice way to stop, but you never listen. I hope you'll finally take what I said into serious consideration, and know now that if you try your advances again, I won't be very nice about it. Please listen next time. Megan. Boom. There we go. One of the only people in his life to tell him straight up, and he doesn't understand. All of them understand. They all understand. They will say they don't, but they do. There's no way they don't, because I guarantee you, if you got someone like this in your life, you put them in check, you put them in reality, I guarantee they'll listen then. And if they don't, slap them. Just hit them with a stick. Bonk. Like Scout. Bonk. Hit him with that bonk. All right, enough. Now, even though Chris lost the competition and wasn't able to fulfill his love fantasy with the beautiful Megan, this story has somewhat of a nice ending, Initially, with all the threats to him and his sisters, Stackhouse actually thought about taking legal action. Thankfully for both, Stackhouse saw that it wasn't worth the trouble and simply moved on with his life while Chris sulked like a sore loser. Though Chris stayed upset with Stackhouse for some time, over the course of years he eventually got over it. A decade later, Adam attended MagFest in 2018 where coincidentally Chris was having a panel dedicated to him, where people were able to ask all sorts of questions, get all sorts of answers, and play along with an internet personality that rarely get out the house. Mr. Stackhouse was present at the panel, and in his closing, he and Chris had a pretty wholesome experience, and were able to squash whatever beef they might have had. They even took some photos together. This moment is probably one of the only times Chris ever learned a lesson and was able to see that he was in the wrong, so quite a rare feat. In this era, many onlookers were looking forward to seeing a matured Chris, one who could understand and self-reflect. On the outside, it seemed like things were going so well, and he was bouncing back from his troubled past. But little did we know something sinister was going on in the Chandler household, and we would eventually lose any hope of him being redeemed.